Alright, what's going on, everyone? No viewers on YouTube and Twitch. Nearly 8 years running. Not like any other. Fantastic. Alright, got some stuff to watch tonight. So there's a interesting, I don't know if it's trying to ride the wave or not of the Mr. Beast shit. But we're gonna see. It's 23 minutes long by someone named Ty Orr. It kind of feels like it's trying to jump on that bandwagon. I don't know. We're gonna check it out. I'm here all night, I guess, until my internet shits out on me. Let's we'll do that. I'm gonna pop up obviously like No Man's Sky. I'll probably play a few different things tonight. I got the Steam World Heist 2. I played like 10 minutes of it. It's pretty fun, I guess. Wanted to see what it was like. But yeah, just gonna chill, hang out. Whoever wants to come here, I'll be here. Let's see what we got going on.
Everything I'm about to say is 100% true, and if at any point I say anything that may be controversial, suspect, or too good to be true, and I don't have the evidence to back it up, then call me a liar, but I guarantee you that won't happen. Ever since I was a young kid, I always wanted to be famous, and it wasn't until in 2018 of November that I knew that I wanted to be a YouTuber. Sadly, it took me 4 years to realize that I actually suck. I'm really bad. I'm super cringe, and don't worry,
I think we all are
aware of this.
Yeah.
But I know one thing, and that one thing is I'm good at editing, and I'm great at creating ideas for others. I was meant to be off camera rather than on, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is being taken advantage of. I was lied to, manipulated, and thrown away like a piece of garbage. Honestly, though, sometimes I kind of think that this was pretty genius. Like, how could a person so high in status be challenged by a person like me? It's like me going to Elon Musk and saying, well, he did this and he did that, and no one would ever believe me because I'm literally just a nobody. So I have Chris Tyson to thank for allowing me to have this platform to tell my truth. February 2nd, 2024, I went snowboarding like I normally do, and I got an email in which I thought was a scam. I mean, for real, look at this. Even you would think the same thing if you got a random email saying, Mr. Beast follow-up, when you didn't even remember reaching out in the first place. Whether that's true or not, I certainly don't remember reaching
Anyone
out
can reach out to
me.
me.
I'll
collab with whoever. I can't promise I'll be good,
but it has its range. I've done videos for House of Highlights, Game Day, Zach TTG, Jesser, Papa Stanimus, Not So Air Jordan, and then I currently edit for MMG. Not to mention I did do the 2022 NFL playoff commercials. So it's pretty normal to have people reach out to me because they've seen my work from other creators and all the other work that I've done for them. So when I got this email, I decided to give it a chance. I responded to the email and then proceeded to post a Facebook post because I was so happy. Everything is dated, and to make sure this information is credible, it helps it set well with you. Pay attention to these days. It's not premeditated, and I obviously had no idea Chris Tyson would be such a perv, so there's no way I would make these posts in advance of like some kind of trick. I also have decided to log into my actual Facebook and show my actual email rather than screenshots, so you know that it's not photoshopped. So on February 2nd, I posted,
congrats.
So I got a job offer from Mr. Beast today. Video call on Monday. Wish your boy luck. Now let's go into the comments because I want you guys to be definitively sure.
I imagine it's pretty
difficult.
difficult.
Make this post 26 weeks ago. All this is 26
Smoking
weeks ago.
what
it would
though
take
as
a
well?
whole bunch of time
Not
to
that it
make
matters,
up all these
but
fake people, and then to go in their profile and see that they're friends with the same people I'm friends with, having what 62 mutual friends, and then going, you know, it's a little bit too much here.
Oh, cigarettes.
So
okay.
None of these are faked at all. This
Well,
is my actual Facebook page. So that's the post I made on February 2nd. Now, I will go to my email, but for now, I really do want to show you the post on Facebook so I don't have to keep going back and forth. So in a nutshell, before we get into all the details, Mr. Beast gave me a fake job.
You had a good weekend.
I worked my butt off, took all my ideas, sent me home and told me there wasn't a job available, and then proceeded to not only do that, but then to take my ideas still and then make a video. So that's what we're going to be covering here. I mean, we're talking about a billionaire here.
That's a pretty big claim.
You know exactly what we're talking about. And I can hang up my
editing
tool set,
That's
whatever you
literally
want to call
what this is called.
All that stuff, I'm not even going to be editing for the guy. I'm gonna be using my mata. I'm gonna be making ideas for him to make videos. I swear to God, that's what my job is. It's not editing.
Weird.
And that's what I got from our meetings was, you know, Mr. Beast, Jimmy, he passes me a piece of paper that says, I blew up the world's most expensive tanks or something. And he gives me a thumbnail that has a picture of him blowing up a tank.
This is fucking weird. Hold on. This guy gotta hold on for just a second. What the fuck is happening here? This is fucking real weird. This is very spooky. This is some weird shit. I did not sign up for a horror game right now. We'll get back to the video in a minute. There's some fucking bad shit going on. Space stations aren't supposed to be like this. Then your grandma died. Holy shit. Sorry about that. Hooked up in my office? Like, what, you... Sorry for lack of a better word, banged a girl. Saw Deadpool. Gave a speech, and then your grandma died. Fuck. That's a lot of... That's a roller coaster of a weekend. What the fuck is happening here, though? Sorry, we're gonna get to the video in a second. This is some weird shit that I wasn't counting on. Data corrupt. Decasma sede. I've been like screwing around on Ultima Online, Outlands, which I don't know if you were here when I started that. It's pretty fun. Remembrance. What the fuck what is this place? I am so confused right now. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Is that a lot? I don't know if that's a lot for a cab ride. What'd you get drunk on? Make me jealous. Remembrance. I have that or something. One. Oh, pretty much all of the things then. This is way too. Oh, okay. Orion, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm jealous. What the fuck is a remembrance? Like, I'm fairly sure I have that somewhere. Or maybe I threw it in a vault or something. Orion, what are you doing? You can't be doing this. I have no idea what he's doing. I don't have a remembrance. Alright, you have to get down. Your fucking tail went in my water. great. Now I'm gonna have to go get more water. Because he doesn't know how long his tail is and where it goes. His tail is like a completely separate entity from his body. God damn it. I have water, and then I have this like big blue stuff here. And I usually don't drink sodas, but this weekend is an exception. Anyway.
To make a video out of that. So that was February 8th. On February 13th is when I went to the airport. The post says, years of hard work has led me to this. My heart is pounding out of my chest. And as you can see, I'm flying to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. And after that, take a very quick look at what I posted afterwards. February 26th, nothing about Mr. Beast. April 19th, nothing about Mr. Beast.
It's a remembrance.
May 3rd, May 9th, May 19th, nothing about Mr. Beast. And do you know why I didn't post anything about Mr. Beast from that time? Is because something went horribly wrong and I was way too embarrassed to tell people about it, because I had made so much noise, such a fuss about me going to Mr. Beast company, and then I just got kind of screwed over. So I didn't post a single thing about that. Now, you guys are wondering, I want to see the proof. I want to see the correspondence. I want to see everything that happened between you guys. I want that information. Well, I got it. So this is the first email I ever got from a guy named Dylan. I can't say his last name, so it will be blurred out for the rest of the video because I just don't want to give out his personal PI information. So we're going to keep it on a first name basis, and we're just going to say Dylan. Dylan sent me an email, and it says in the subject, Mr. Beast follow-up. Hey, thanks for submitting your info to our casting team. We receive your submission at this time. We're fully casted for our current videos. That's not what we want to pay attention to. What we want to pay attention to is the second paragraph. Working at Mr. Beast, we are collaborative first, and I was forward your submission. Don't know how you got it, but let's keep going. If you're interested, I would love to chat about your potential full-time or contract role work on Mr. Beast's creative team. February 2nd, 2024, that he sent me the email. It was February 3rd, 2024 that I responded to the email. I wanted to make sure, after I made the post, I was like, oh crap, this actually might be a scam. Let me go back and do some research. And then the next day I was like, you know what? I feel good about this. I don't have to delete my post. So I was able to go ahead and reply to him confidently. Now, this email here is my very first, I guess, direct exploration call, whatever. Basically, me being able to meet them for the very first time.
Some weird shit.
Facebook, and like I said before in the email, Monday, February 5th, 2024. My second call was not only with Dylan, but now it has Dylan, Hoodie, and someone named Kara, which I have never met. I've never once met Kara, so you won't hear anything about a Kara in this video. And this took place on Wednesday, February 7th, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was the second call. For another email, also on February 7th, 2024, this was directly right after the call I had with Hoodie, Dylan, and Kara. And within that conversation, they basically told me that I needed to make a prompt. And when I say prompt, let me just read the email. Hello, Ty. We would like for you to come in for a vibe check. Vibe check means you come in for a few days to see if you're good, see if you're a good worker, see, people are not going to be annoyed by you, and see if they can move further on with the hiring process. If possible, we'd like to come in for you to come in for 3 days at some point next week. I've got a recruiting coordinator, Leslie, CC'd on this email. She will help you figure out the days
seem like
and handle your travel arrangements. Now, this is the
like a professional thing, a vibe check.
What
I mean, I get it.
Is to do 2 video prompts. Attached, you will find 2 video prompts. Pick one that inspires you the most and document and write out how you envision it. Really let your creativity flow and assume everything is possible. So in each of these prompts, one of them is the world's most dangerous trap room, and the other is 24 hours to spend $1 billion. I went with the world's most dangerous trap room because spending $1 billion in 24 hours just seems kind of boring and, quite frankly, linear. I think I have more creativeness than that. That's just not something I want to do. And then, like we mentioned before, this is Leslie sending me an email. Thanks, Ty. Are you able to fly in on Tuesday, be on office Wednesday through Friday, and fly back on Saturday morning?
What is a remembrance?
And she gave me all my travel
I'm so confused.
So now we're going to get into like the more just deep in the details here. So like I said, if I don't show proof, don't assume that I'm telling the truth. If I don't show proof for everything that I'm saying, assume that I'm literally lying about everything that I'm saying, okay? So
people will. People will still assume it anyway.
I realized that the footage was kind of cloudy when it comes to OBS and recording the screen, so I will put screenshots of those messages up there. But in the email, it did say that I had those 2 prompts, and the 2 prompts was something about spending $1 billion in a day in 24 hours, and the other one was the world's most dangerous trap rooms. So we're taking a look right here. I have the prompt, and it says the world's most dangerous trap room. And in my intro, I have PT hallway, I have the elevator, I have the Squid Games Glass Challenge, I have Bloodthirst, and I have Ball Maze. And within these things in my prompt, I do have like variations. So first one, I can see the variation. So right here, underneath elevator, I wrote one thing. The ultimate goal is to escape the elevator before it reaches the top floor and the bottom falls out beneath you. But I also have a second variation. Pick, lock, tool, groove, chain in the wall. Goal is the same except the elevator moves a little faster. Move the chain, object, lock, pick, tool to unlock the locks on the roof and the elevator reaches the top. So you ever play those games where there's like a little plastic thing and it has grooves all over? It's like a maze and you got to move that ball through. Well, essentially, that's what
it's called Labyrinth, right?
You're chained to the thing,
like
and you gotta move.
It's like a wooden thing, and you have two.
What's the key that has a key on
knobs.
it? So you can reach one lock, and there's locks on each 4 corners of the elevator. So when you get this lock, now you gotta go through the maze again, and now you gotta go and take this lock out and unlock that, so you can escape the elevator. If you don't, the whole thing just plummets to the ground. I thought that was a pretty dope idea, right? So I did that, but I also made 2 of them.
This is my fantastic underwater base.
So also here in Squid Games, that was another thing. I made a different variation of what was already done, and I did that.
Whoa,
that was part of my pitch. Now, will this keep going down because somewhere around?
What the fuck
it's the Squid
happened
Games
here?
one right here. In the second variation of the Squid Games, I say Mario style. Floating obstacle course. Instead of using floating blocks, which is impossible, we will use floating rack hoisted by 4 cranes. Floating rack hoisted 200 feet in the air. Each section of the obstacle course will change depending on the distance made. Start from one platform to another to advance. Safety harness will be eliminated due to the net underneath the platform. Now, with that, so we have an idea that I wanted to do. So I want to talk a little bit more about my experience of being at the Mr. Beast warehouse. I've never once personally ever signed an NDA. In all my emails and all my correspondences and all my text messages, I have never once
I've signed a shitload of them for like closed beta things.
There is an iPad as soon as you get to the warehouse, as soon as you walk in, and you have to sign in. And they ask you things like your first name, last name, email address, all that, phone number, and stuff like that. And I have a
the first NDA I signed was EverQuest 2 closed beta.
I think you're also signing an NDA. They don't come out and say it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. That's just something that I think. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying I'm thinking because I don't want to get sued by them because I'm like I said earlier, I'm a nobody. Anyways, I get to the warehouse and they have multiple different like studios. Studios as in workshops where you work at, creative, thumbnail, editing, ideation, all these things, right? So they take me to, for legal purposes, for legal reasons, I will say Studio 1. Studio 1 of creative. I go to Studio 1, you know, whatever, it's all right. We're working on the video. We're doing the, in 10 minutes, like actual 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, this video explodes. And I mean, this building explodes. I worked on that for a little bit. Wasn't really feeling it. Wasn't really my jam. We went out. I will put a little video up here of me working on like a little laser challenge for that.
Where the fuck is that remembrance?
Really that good at all.
I know I have one.
If I'm being honest.
Or I had one anyway.
The next one. And by the way, I'm sorry, I'm skipping all over the place. This was actually the second day of me being there because the first day I spent my entire day in my hotel, which was boring, but for whatever reasons, I couldn't go in the first day, so I spent the first day in my hotel. The second day is when I would start,
could be on my other ship.
On the third day, I was told to go to a different studio. We'll say Studio 2, and I'm working on a video.
Studio 59.
What was the video's name? It was another one that had nothing to do with anything. Anyways, I go through the whole day, or well, I say a good portion of the day, about 5 hours. So around like 2:00 p.m. there's a guy named Hoodie. It was also in one of the emails earlier, and he's like and when it comes to chain of command, I think he's third in chain of command total. So you have Mr. Beast, you have Tyler, you have Jackson the head writer, and then you have Hoodie. And Hoodie was in charge of all these things. I actually had my vibe check call with Hoodie. I had my second call with Hoodie. I was in contact with Hoodie and Leslie, the coordinator, if you remember that. And everything was going through Hoodie. The guy's a great guy. He's a great guy. He took care of me. Yeah. He really like gave me great information, great feedback.
I need to call back my
as I'm going through this video, I
though.
want you guys to remember, I'm not attacking these people. I'm attacking the company, because whatever happens in the company is a reflection of Mr. Beast. It's not a reflection of the people who are doing the things like what they're doing. Your company is a reflection of what happens. It doesn't matter who does it. If your company is ran that way, it is a reflection of you. You got to take responsibility here. So I do my pitch, and Hoodie says, you know what? I want you to go shadow some people for the rest of the day.
Fuck,
I want you to
it's
go
not in here
this
either.
team and see how you can contribute to
Dude,
them. So let's break
come
down the
on.
positions in the Mr. Beast company. You have C1. C1 is the head person of that department. So if you're in creative, you're C1. So creative, studio 1, C1. So there's creative studio 2, there's a C1 for that. Creative studio 3, there's a C1 for that. Then ideation, studio 1, C1. Ideation, studio 2, same thing. They're just levels. They're just like the head honcho of that department. And then within that, you also have a C2 and a C3. I assume C2 is like the person who are in between.
I'm curious if this guy is going to get
like the
slammed with.
They just write notes. They don't do
stuff.
anything.
I
they
don't
just
know.
Write notes. Whatever is said, they take notes. They take minutes and they write everything. They're like
pretty crazy.
the grunts of that department. I went to this new room that Hoodie told me to go to, and there was 3 positions. Well, there was 2 positions at the time. I don't know where the third one's at. There was only a C3 and then a C2. I mean a C1. The C1's name was C. The C3, I mean, I talked to him for like 30 seconds. I don't know what his name was. And we were working on a video. We're working on a video called The World's Most Dangerous Obstacle Course. Now we are getting to the part where you finally can understand why I'm so mad, so upset. That I got scammed.
Get to it.
I got absolutely scammed by the biggest YouTuber in the entire world. This is where you're going to find out why I was upset. Now it's going to come full circle. I'm going to have to tell you everything. We're working on the video, World's Most Dangerous Obstacle Course, and I want to show some videos and proof of what I did. From here on out, I'm going to start speaking more theoretically so I don't get sued. So there may or may not have walls in the Mr. Beast studio where they're all dry erase marker where you can just write anything. So if you have an idea, like, oh crap, I don't want to forget it, right on the wall.
I had walls like that on my apartment
that I wrote. So you see right here, you get really close. Bloodthirst. Let's see. Elevator. Let's even get close. Glass challenge right here.
If you're a student in science or math,
it's my prompt.
You know these
So this
walls.
is what I pitched to Hoodie. This is what I pitched to Hoodie. And I didn't put my variations in there. I just put the ones that I wanted. And I verbally said my variations just in case they didn't like my original ones. This is the world's most dangerous obstacle course. So C1 has been working on this with me and the other guy, I don't know his name, and we're working on, like, as you can see, the intro, the hook, the money mechanic. Right here, we're looking at, this is the most important part, it's just rooms. When I saw rooms, when we were brainstorming rooms, I'm like, dang, okay, rooms. I just did a prompt on the world's dangerous trap rooms. This is perfect. I can do this. It doesn't exactly follow the obstacle course, so I can kind of use my room idea with this. I mean, if you look at all these ideas, whatever, it doesn't matter. The one thing that I'm looking at the most is all the way at the bottom. It looked like it says Marlo, but it says Mario. Mario is my was my idea. I'm inspired by Mario because my kids love the Mario movie. They loved it so much they named my dog Mario. Hold on.
Who doesn't? Mario movie was great.
Mario, come here.
I say it plenty often, but that's how I got monetized on Twitch. Mario.
My dog Mario, because they love the Mario. They love the movie Mario so much. So I was inspired by that, and I think I put that in my prompt as well. If anyone's ever seen Mario,
all right, you have to get down, buddy. You cannot be up here. Not right now.
Floating blocks. I
can't do it.
And I thought about it, and I realized it's just impossible to make floating blocks in the air. I don't know how you would do it. Logistically, it's just not going to work, and physically, I don't think it would work either. So I came up with the trellis.
That's easy. What you would do, how I would do it is, well, I always wanted to make these little like air dirigible kind of things where you'd have a light frame and then you would have 3, I guess it would probably be easier to have 4 fans that would blow down, but they would have to be very light. You could get a very, very light like a programmable board, like I don't want to call it a motherboard, but that, and you can get sensors like balance sensors. So if you make them stay balanced, you can program each fan to like adjust its speed so it would be balanced. So you could like put like a helium balloon on it and like make little question marks, and then you could have them like go up and they could have, I don't know, something that would puncture the balloon, you know, and wear these like little gloves, and you could hit them, and then I don't know, but you could do it because I tried to do that. I never got it off the ground, but I did have schematics for those kinds of like little airships that you could kind of control and stuff. Sorry.
Snap. Or I came out the deal with the trust.
I worked a lot on that in
right
college.
Here. So this was my idea.
I never got it.
I wanted to make an obstacle course in the air, but
I
like
never got to
incorporate it with the Mario idea.
phase,
Somehow, just I don't know. Somehow do that. This is a picture that I drew for this pitch for this idea, and I realized that, you know what, I couldn't do the floating block, so I wanted to make sure I can do it another way. So I had an idea of a truss with 4 cranes holding it up, and I wanted to be able to go across it. That was just the first section of it. Because if you look a little bit more to the right of this picture, there's like a helicopter and a guy hanging from a ladder, and there's platforms down here, 1, 2, and 3. There's platforms right there. That was just the first section of it. I wanted the intro of the video to be something so outlandish, so crazy that a viewer had to keep watching. I did still the no net at the bottom.
Sentinel nest revealed.
No, not
Raid the
no
nest
net. A net down there. That's why I said net down there, because
it's
just a joke that we thought was funny. But I did steal that from one of the other Mac videos. I just figured, why not? It makes it such much of a better video. So I pitched this idea, and they absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. The only person who didn't like it was C1, because it wasn't her idea. So when it came down to our meeting later that day, so we were there for hours and hours and hours, and like I said, there's a hierarchy. There's Mr. Beast, Tyler, Jackson, the head writer, and Hoodie. Well, Jackson comes down there and we're having a meeting at 9 o'clock at night. The meeting goes all the way to midnight, and then they say at the very end, we're gonna need all hands on deck on this. We're gonna need the help. We're gonna need the creativity. We need everyone to pull their weight. Does anyone have anything that's gonna help us, with this? And I told them my idea. I brought up every single thing, not only just this idea, but the rest of the video. They loved it. The budget was originally 1.7 million. That intro alone cost $1.7 million. Just the intro alone. And the reason why I didn't want to bring it up immediately was only because if the budget was 1.7 million and I'm here to prove myself.
Well, you were there, and I guarantee you he signed away like his rights
for months, weeks, years.
I don't think he has any kind of legal repercussions.
So it was a little risky, but they loved it. We stayed to midnight. They freaking loved it. I got a pat in the back. Jackson was excited. Hoodie was excited. The only person who wasn't excited was a C1 that I kind of stepped over, because like they say in the company, it don't matter if you're C1, C2, C3. C3 can be a C2. C2 can be a C1. C1 can be a C3 by tomorrow. All right, so at this point, I've pitched my idea. They love it. They've set a date. They set a location. And now they have a new renewed budget for this video. And everything's great. I'm so happy. I text all my friends. I call everyone. I'm like, yeah, dude. And also, so after all that, I'm feeling great. I got a verbal confirmation that I was good to go. Everything was perfect. I know about everything was literally perfect until I got home. And that's when everything started to happen. Unfortunately, we have decided not to move forward with your candidacy at this time. We really appreciate you coming out and vibing with us. We would consider you for a role like this in the future, but timing isn't quite right. And the rest are about receipts. So at first I was like, you know what? Maybe that's true. But then I started to think about it a little bit more. And I didn't want to let it bother me. So I said, hey, Dylan, that's a bummer to hear, but I appreciate the opportunity. Maybe another time, like you said, candidly, may I ask if I presented myself poorly or rubbed the crew wrongly in any way? Talking about here, because I know I did. Also, I sent my receipts. And this is talking about my dog, because I had spent like $400 for my dog to be boarded. Sent all that information. He said, hello, Ty. You did not rub anyone the wrong way or present yourself poorly. We're going through some reorganization with the team and are limited on roles we have open for teams. I appreciate you sending a receipt, blah, 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 whatever. This is where I started to say, but I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything at all. Not a single word until I saw this on Twitter. Just uploaded the most insane video we've ever done. Go watch. Take a look at this picture. Take a good hard look at this picture. Does that remind you of anything you've seen so far? Does it remind you of anything you've seen remotely close to it? Or does it look like the exact same thing that I drew? The exact same thing that I pitched? Everything. Do you want to know how much I got paid for that? Zero. I didn't get paid a single dime. This man, this company, his employees not only took the time to exploit me, to have me work for them under the false pretenses of a job that wasn't, that they weren't available or able to give at the time. Yet they had many people go in and out. On my second day, there was like a different group that I saw the day before, and then they were on their last day, and then on my last day there was a group of people that was their first day.
They have a bunch of people coming in.
Any positions? You didn't have any positions at all at all, yet you had all those people. And not only did you do that, you used my idea. A lot of people would say, you know what, legally he had the right to do that. I don't know in what legal standpoint he could. I could be wrong, but let's think about this though. We're talking about a billionaire. We're talking about the world's biggest YouTuber. How is that so hard to just compensate for someone for some work? How hard is it to compensate someone for their ideas that make you?
How do you think he got to be a billionaire? There was literally a Simpsons episode about this where Homer makes some kind of internet site or whatever, and Bill Gates like comes to buy him out. In fact, I can show that shit right now. And I know it's a joke, but still, like, you know, every joke has a little bit of a nugget of truth.
Oh, they have the internet on computers now.
Homer, Bill Gates is here.
Bill Gates? Billionaire computer nerd Bill Gates? Oh my god, oh my god. Get out of sight, Marge. I don't want this to look like a two-bit operation.
Mr. Simpson?
You don't look so rich.
Don't let the haircut fool you. I'm exceedingly wealthy.
Get a load of the bowl job, Marge.
Your internet ad was brought to my attention, but I can't figure out what, if anything, Compia Global Hyper Meganet does. So rather than risk competing with you, I've decided simply to buy you out.
This is it, Marge. I poured my heart and soul into this business, and now it's finally paying off. We're rich, richer than astronauts.
Homer, quiet. You'll queer the deal.
Oh, right. I reluctantly accept your proposal.
Well, everyone always does. Buy 'em out, boys.
Hey, what the hell's going on?
Oh, I didn't get rich by writing a lot of checks.
There it is. There it is. I didn't get rich by writing a lot of checks.
Millions and made me zero. I don't care if it was legally done or not. Like, think about it. We all have hearts here. We're all watching YouTube videos for the same exact reason. How messed up is that? You're a billionaire, dude. It's not like it's I'm some guy on the street, or you're some guy on the street. You're a billionaire, man.
Is Mr. Beast a billionaire? I don't know that he is.
Take their ideas and send them home. You're giving these people false hope. You're taking their dreams from them. You're taking everything that's about them, their creativeness, their fucking imagination. I'm sorry, I'm actually getting worked up right now. You can't do that to people. You can't do that to people. And on top of that, everything
he
going
definitely
media,
can.
It kind of shows his true colors. It shows the true nature, your character of who you are. This ain't it, man. This seriously is not it. This is just part one, because I believe part two will shock you, and I don't want to get to the point where I have to do part two and I really have to expose a lot of things that might get me sued. So I'm working on something right now. I know this may sound really crazy because, you know, I'm asking for money, and that's basically what I'm doing with Mr. Beast. I want him to pay me. He owes me this money. He owes me this. He can't, like, you can't just keep doing this to people. You can't do this. So I'm asking you guys, if you believe everything that I've said, without a
I believe him.
Like, you know what? I like the proof. I like what I saw. I want to help this guy out. Please help me out. I'm going to start a GoFundMe. We work too hard to be stomped on by these guys.
I believe everything that he said, but I also don't believe that he's necessarily.
Who's benefiting from this? Me or Mr. Beast? It ain't me. So please support.
That he's gonna get any money or legal, or like, we don't know what was in that thing that he said that he signed, that like NDA thing that we said. So it could have, and it probably did say like any kind of ideas are open to use by Mr. Beast or something like that. I would bet money that is something that was in there. So I don't know. It also seems a little bit, it's a little bit jumping on the bandwagon, kind of a little bit. I bet that whatever he's saying though is true. Absolutely true. But I don't think that he is gonna get anywhere with it, sadly. Okay, I would like to watch. Let's see, Chadtronic. New video. Kids show goes horribly. I like Chadtronic.
What you got? What you got? My name is Cleo the Clown, and I am the adversary of Beat City Kids.
He's the adversary of Beat City Kids.
It's time for the name game. Jesus Christ. God help us all.
Ladies and Franklins, it's me, Chaptastica. It's been a little bit since we've watched children's programming. This time is from 1998. And I don't know if
That's when
how
Zelda
many of you
came out.
remember that one video I watched about the creepy puppets. What was the show called? Peppermint Park.
Oh, look at that one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Really nice. Yeah, that's
Early.
Watch
Today on Peppermint Park.
Yeah. Peppermint.
Well, anyway,
Park.
this show is kind of a show like that, and I'm told that even some of the same puppets were used on this program as the last one. So if that doesn't properly set expectations, I don't know what will.
Oh,
The show
joy.
is called Beat City Kids. No, really, it's actually called that. It's kind of violent.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls. My name is Lily, and I would like to welcome you to Dave Chapman's Beat City Kids Fair Play Show. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from smoking or loud
It's
talking.
Lily.
Why is her name in quotes?
Yeah.
Are we being lied to? And I don't think the best
That's
way to
what I
start your
wondered.
children's show is immediately referencing smoking. This is 98, so I guess it was a different time. I mean, I guess they're telling people not to smoke. Also, no camcorder use.
Also, no camcorders or flash photography is allowed during the show. Beat City Kids!
You're holding up the show. Give me my covers back. Get your lady self out here.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
why you love to wake me up
What
so
is
early.
happening?
Ooh, well, shut my mouth. Look at all those nice children out there. Hi, kids. Will you shut up and let me introduce us?
Why does it look like they're standing in front of TV static? Bertha and Maggie have already made this show incredibly cursed. I give this show a 10 already.
Thank you. Now, my name is Bertha, and Miss Big Mouth here is Maggie. And we... Wait a minute. I want to know why these kids came here to Beat City. Did y'all come here to take a nap?
It doesn't seem like this is the actual performance that was had for these children. Feels like this was like a
Damn it,
routine
I
they
don't have
did for
silver.
the kids in person,
Come
but
on.
then
Come
recorded
on,
the
game.
routine again later.
Now, do you kids want to see a puppet show?
Beat City Kids! Children at the rail.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Gobbles. Oh, it's saxophone. 10 out of 10.
This feels like parody that was done to be intentionally weird, but I don't think that was the intention. Also, why is this guy like holding a cello, but like a saxophone and saxophone sounds are happening? What?
Beat City Kids!
Kids today growing up with TV shows like Bluey have no idea how good they have it.
I care, Barney.
Oh my God, what? I'm just like in shock. There's actually a puppet with a cigarette in its mouth? Are you for real? This show is totally unhinged. I love it.
Please refrain from smoking or loud talking during the performance.
Today's
Except
video
for
is sponsored
Cleo.
by
Don't
Display.
fuck with
Displays
Cleo.
are high-quality metal sheet posters, and from them I got a whole new batch of designs, including Jurassic Park, Halo, My Little Pony, and SpongeBob. Display's new 3D texture sheets are extra cool because they feature tactile textures and 3D contours, which really helps make the art pop. They have a lot of cool, officially licensed designs from movies to games to everything else, with a long list of official partners. All their designs are printed on metal, which makes them top quality and easy to hang up and swap out in seconds. Just stick a magnet with a protective leaf on the wall.
I am so fucking disappointed
No
that I
power tools,
don't
and most
have that
importantly, no frustration.
other
Easy hang,
thing, that
swap, and arrange.
whatever it was
Transforming your
called,
space
Remembrance.
has never been easier. If you use my code CHAD,
Orion,
you can save
get down!
27% off one display or 33% off of two. So
I
go to
will
your
give
Google,
you
click
treats
the
in a
link
minute.
below and decorate your
Jesus
crib with this
Christ.
plate. And now, back to the video.
The name game. It's time for the name game. The name game. It's time for the name game. The name game.
The name
Time
game.
for the name game. The name game. It's time for the name game.
Oh my god! Wait, what time is it for?
Time for the name game. The name game.
Jesus
Once I
Christ.
had 10 pieces of candy, and Barney the dog asked me for just one piece.
May I have one piece of candy, please?
And I said no. Get your own, you greedy pig. Barney got upset and he said,
Almost, that's not fair.
If we want to talk about what's really not fair, fact that I had to watch the whole freaking 30-minute version of this while you guys get all the good parts.
Yep.
Are these good parts?
What the fuck?
now that's the art. I said, would you say? That's the art of their play. Hasta la vista.
Oh my god! The next segment just starts like this. Just abruptly. Actual jump scare.
Buildable tech.
My name is Cleo.
I already have all
and
of
I
that.
am
What the
the
fuck?
adversary of Beat City Kids.
It's
He's
the big bag.
adversary of Beat City Kids.
Don't you touch that guy. Ooh.
That's the big bad, the BBG, big bad evil guy.
They really did not think that name through.
It's time for the name game. The name game. It's time for the name game.
What's the name of this Beat City kid? Can you guess his name?
Kimberly Chittens. Kimberly Chittens.
That's right.
Time for the name game.
I'm gonna have some nightmares tonight.
Chittens.
The entire vibe of this program just feels like stalling, except for the actual entertainment you're waiting for never actually happens.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
Jesus
I'm a kitty
Christ.
that's pretty.
Like everything I'm showing you in this video is like 5 minutes longer than what you're
You find
seeing.
flour?
And the rest that you're not seeing is not any different than what you are seeing. It's just longer.
You know, I'm tired of everyone picking on me. I packed my bags and
Solatillo.
I'm running away from Beat City because
Finally, a use for the television broadcast graphics that was actually funny.
Do you kids want to see a puppet show?
We're gonna need to build a separate room for these.
Big City Kids.
nobody cares. Nobody cares about me.
Dude, this is some weird shit.
I care, Barney.
This is some fucking weird shit.
Okay, that's actually funny. Why do I find this so funny? If you ever feel like nobody cares about you, Just know that there's probably a creepy talking flower that might.
I will hold on to that as I go to sleep tonight. A lab lamp.
I am not exaggerating. At least half of the runtime for this entire show is them doing this like name game intro. It just goes on for such a long amount of time, and they do it over and over and over again. Like, this is the most obvious
it's time for the name
padding
game.
to get a longer runtime.
That's why
for
they're doing it
that I've ever seen.
Hi, kids. I don't think y'all heard me. I said, hi, kids. Whoa.
Why is this character just like wearing a Nike shirt? So bizarre.
Fair chance dance.
You can see the literal cameraman. Hey, I thought they said no camcorders at the beginning of this.
I have no idea what the fuck is going on, by the way. I'm just here.
What is this? This is nothing. This is just a static image being split with some music.
It's art.
Thrilling.
Chad. God. Didn't know
They couldn't
art.
have had like at least a puppet like playing the organ or something. It's like all the attention and effort went into making everything look as weird as possible, and then nothing else. I really like how these like dancing cat characters serve absolutely no purpose throughout this entire programming other than just to have B-roll of them slightly stepping around and moving their arms. It's very exciting. Wow, okay, this just ends very abruptly. Again, there's so much effort put into like the costumes, character designs. Sure, it's all weird, but the actual content, the substance, this had absolutely nothing. It was just weird song after weird song with like an incredibly loose educational message. I would have been disappointed if this was something I was tricked into buying on VHS for my child. There was so much better children's programming in 1998 than this. This is like the lowest hanging fruit, let's be honest. Peppermint Park is pretty terrible, but at least I had
I need more silver.
That. This is just like nothing.
Silver is insane to get. It's so fucking difficult to get. Nobody cares. I think you used one of those Casio keyboards at Walmart for like $40. They have that do.
What's up, everybody?
Sample.
This is the Act Man here.
Yeah, we already watched that one. It's the name game. Okay, I know a little bit about this. Wendigoon just put out a video. It has over 112,000 views. It's ridiculous. It's been 3 hours. But anyway, it's the time a banana company hired a paramilitary death squads. And that's why we have the term like a banana republic. It is ridiculous, and I'd like to see his coverage of it. So that's what we're going to watch. But this is where that term comes
About a
from.
month ago, you may have seen a headline that said something to the effect of,
dude, he's lost
Chiquita
like a
Banana
lot of
found
weight.
guilty for sponsoring terrorist organizations in Colombia. And if you're like me, you saw that headline and said, what? So, as someone with way too much free time on his hands, I decided to see what that was all about. And after looking at the story of not only the court case, but the entire story of the company itself, I can safely say that funding a terrorist death squad is like the most normal thing they've ever done. Not only did this headline open up what is, in my opinion, one of the shadiest, most dastardly companies in American history, but it also opens up a whole web of wrongdoing with United States companies operating in Latin America. And more specifically, the nightmares of the banana trade itself. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Today, we're going to look at the history of the United Fruit Company, the company that would go on to become Chiquita Brands International, and how, as mentioned earlier, hiring paramilitary assassination squads is just a normal Monday for them. Allegedly. Actually, wait, I don't even have to say allegedly in this one. They were found guilty in court. Yeah, they did it. Duh. I have so much weird history to talk about. I swear the research for this video started off with just the court case, but then it became so much more. I don't know what this is going to bake out into.
I can't believe that he didn't know about this until now.
Explain this to someone.
This is some fucking crazy shit.
So I'm going to start this word salad of a story that contains CIA coups, market manipulation and manipulation of advertising, and a whole lot of massacres right after the ad. Which is me. I'm the ad for this one. I'm not kidding, look. By the time you're watching this, I'll be on the road for the tour of Stalker Shadow of the Zone.
I think he looks
but
better.
Even if you didn't get it on the tour, that doesn't mean you have to miss out on the fun. That's because right now, all of the merch that's available to buy in person at the tour is also available to order yourself. Among that merch, we have this adorable little guy, one of the Merc characters from the film. He even comes with his own movable gas mask and all the patches that the characters wear within the movie, and even these cute little night vision goggles on top. On top of that, we have this very stylish keyboard mat, because if we're going to make a movie based on a video game, we might as well act like it. And what is a movie without a movie poster? The artwork for this poster being inspired by the main character from the film. So to get in on the poster, keyboard mat, or plush, be sure to head to the link in the description.
I should play
at InnerspaceAnomalies.shop.
Being
Thank you all so much for selling out as many tickets as you did for the tour.
I've never played
Shadow really does mean the world. On top of that, the shirt I'm wearing, the Do What You Will shirt with the cool, stylish, grunge, I'm totally punk design on the back, is available for 2 more weeks, maybe a week and a half, and then it's gone forever. So if you're interested in this as well, be sure to check it out at the link in the description at wendigoon.shop. I know there's a lot going on right now. You all have been a blessing. There's so many different projects that I have to shill for at once. That's why there's no ad this week, because just focusing on this. Thank you all so much for the support you've shown already. I really don't deserve it. And thank you for the support you continue to show. It means the world. So yeah, check out the shirt or the Stalker merch while you can at the links in the description. And really, thank you all for everything. We are going to go ahead and get into it, but as always, thank you for watching. To find out how a wholesome company like Chiquita can be found guilty last month of hiring assassins in Colombia, we need to start at the beginning. All the way back at the beginning of a company that would one day become Chiquita Brands International, the United Fruit Company. So it all starts in 1870.
I do like bananas, though.
Henry Mead
Who doesn't like
was
bananas?
contracted by
Bananas
Costa
are great.
Rica to build a railroad. An important thing to note about world history, and specifically like Central America and South America at this time, is that a lot of advancements were being made around the world all at once. Railroads already laid across the entire United States, and inventions like the telephone and the car
advantage of them
expected
so hard.
in the industrial
It's
world.
fucking
Because
ridiculous.
Of that, countries like Costa Rica felt pressured to get with the times, or else they'd be left behind. So in cases like what happened in 1871, they would overcommit to a project that they couldn't afford. 6 years after Henry's contracted to build the railroad, he would pass away, and his nephew, Minor C. Keith, would take over. Keith realizes quickly that Costa Rica doesn't have the money to pay him, so he starts making deals with the country. Among these deals, Keith is given a 99-year lease to the operations of the railroad, as well as 800,000 acres of property in Costa Rica. So Keith goes from just building a railroad to now owning the operations of it. Well, it turned out that owning the operation of the Costa Rican Railroad didn't contribute to that much money. But what he found did contribute was bananas. See, originally during the railroad's construction, Keith would have bananas grown in the area to just feed the workers, because bananas were comparatively cheap to grow and grew naturally in Central America. Well, to Keith's luck, at the same time he acquired this railroad lease and 800,000 acres of land, bananas were becoming all the rage in the United States. As a matter of fact, they were so popular in places like New York City that the police commissioner made it a
banana
finable
splits?
offense to
Those are
leave
so
a
good.
banana peel in public because so many people were slipping on them. Also, that police commissioner was Teddy Roosevelt. I'm not kidding. Now, the biggest problem with transporting bananas at the time is industrial refrigeration didn't exist yet. So at the time you pulled the banana from the tree, you had a very short window to get it sold on a market.
Yeah.
This would be a very hard feat to achieve.
Dude,
Unless
bananas
you own
go
your own
bad
railroad.
so fucking
Keith's
quick.
company,
It's
Tropical Trading
ridiculous.
and Transport,
Everyone
would pick
knows
all the
this.
bananas, load them onto a railroad track, and then take them to the port, all in-house through Keith's operation. However, the next problem he had was transporting the bananas across the water back to the United States. Keith's main competitor with this was a company called Boston Fruit Co., a company that owned a lot of the boats and was growing their bananas in the West Indies. Keith became frustrated with this agreement because anytime he wanted to move his product, he had to rely on someone else's boats to do it, and eventually decided if you can't beat them, join them. So the Tropical Trading and Transportation Company merged with the Boston Fruit Company to create the United Fruit Company. Not only that, but their lawyer, who would eventually become the director of the United Fruit Company,
You like fruit?
Bradley Palmer,
What's your favorite fruit?
decided that they should buy stock in their
I'm
competitors
a raspberry,
as well.
blackberry
So
guy.
for a time, United Fruit Company owned 80% of all banana trades into the United States. And as soon as they had this money, they kept expanding their operation. They bought land and built railroads.
Been eating a lot of cantaloupe
into
too.
the northern part of South America.
Lately.
By
It's pretty
1900,
good.
it's hard to explain how
cantaloupe is
big
good, I
United
should
Fruit
say.
was. Like, sure, there's companies that are bigger today, like Amazon, but because of the way we as the public receive information, there's so many routes around them. Whereas back in 1900, United Fruit kind of decided what their image would be, as well as even the image of the countries that they ship product from. Like, for example, they started something called the Great White Fleet, which was named after the military's Great White Fleet. These were, as the name implies, really big ships that were painted white and used to ship bananas to the United States. This Great White Fleet would take groups of 50
The
to
Atlas
100
has created
people and tour
infinite
them
stars,
around the Caribbean.
worlds, and life.
This not only
Cannot see
promoted the
them
name
all.
of United Fruit, but also was the first example of a Caribbean cruise. And United Fruit can be credited with sparking that entire avenue of culture as well. Like in 1901, Guatemala just
A
had
new
them
star
start
is
running
born,
the mail.
stated what I
no
have
joke,
seen.
because United
That's
Fruit
so
owned
fucking
all of
crazy.
the railways and had all of the infrastructure for the country, Guatemala just decided to contract them to, decide where letters go. In 1913, they created the Tropical Radio and Telegraph Company, which managed all of the radio and telegraph broadcasts throughout Central
Dude, they
America.
owned
In 1930,
everything.
they were the largest employer out of anyone in the entirety of Central America. And when I say they owned everything, I mean they owned everything. They owned the
Yep.
land, they owned
It's
the food,
fucking
they owned
wild.
transportation, and they owned the people that were on the land as well. If you've heard all of this describing United Fruit Company and you hoped that they were at least kind of nice to their workers,
They were
then
not.
that's really cute, and I hope the world doesn't hurt you. The way United Fruit Company treated their workers in
Yeah.
Central and South America is pretty monstrous. Not only were
Yep.
workers subjected to 7-day work days, and they would be paid the equivalent of like $1.30, but not even in normal money, in company vouchers that they could only spend at company locations.
Itchy and scratchy
But the
money.
work itself was hard and brutal, and if you became injured, you were completely unpaid for any of the time lost. If you became ill, there weren't any facilities at
That's a
work
lot of
sites to treat you,
bananas.
at least nothing
People
permanent.
shouldn't be holding that many bananas.
Then that was pretty much considered desertion and someone else would come take your job. What this also meant for local governments is without United Fruit Company, they have no infrastructure. So the government can't really tell them to do anything about it. Think of it this way. Say you're the Costa Rican government and you do care about what your workers are going through. Well, if you impose any kind of fine or serious restriction on United Fruit for the way they're treating the workers, then at any point, United Fruit can just take their ball and go home. They own the railroads, they own the radios, they own the post office. They can either charge you an exorbitant fee for using it or just not allow you to use it altogether. So unless you want the entire country to fall into poverty, you kind of have to play along. Now, this is also a very favorable look to local governments, considering a lot of these officials were also being paid off and didn't really care about the issues United Fruit was creating. But suffice to say, even if they did care, not a lot could be done.
Get everything.
I also want to emphasize, I'm kind of oversimplifying by saying that it was just United Fruit Company and ergo Chiquita Bananas that's responsible for all this.
That
When in reality, there were several large companies that were doing the same thing to different degrees in different places. Even other fruit companies.
But they were all in cahoots, so it's
all
like...
had a hand in this pie. I'm mainly just picking on United Fruit Company because, for one, they're one of the largest to have done it. 2, their name gets brought up the most when you're talking about these historic instances. And 3, they're the guys who, once again, have an actual guilty conviction. But just assume all circumstances in Latin America are bad at this time because they pretty much were. As a matter of fact, it was these conditions that caused the author O. Henry to coin the term Banana Republic, which effectively became a slang term for any area where a small percentage of
became a very, very, very lucrative
in order to turn a profit or create a go, which
mall
makes
store
it
that I
extra
used
funny
to not that I used
a
to go
company
to.
decided to name their
I
clothing
think everyone
brand
did that I couldn't
I don't
afford.
have anything against Banana Republic. As a matter of fact, this is one of their shirts, and it's very comfortable. But it's just so wild to me that you would hear that whole history and be like, yeah, we'll name our industry after that one. Well, while all the
I was blown away when I found out like that's what it was
either
named
willingly
after.
or unwillingly turning a blind eye to what the United Fruit
Why?
Company is doing, the workers are not as happy with the arrangement and begin to protest. Around this time, a nickname began to pop up for the United Fruit Company. Locals refer to it as the octopus because it has an arm in everything the country does. And in the early 1900s, a lot of worker strikes happened. You can imagine how United Fruit felt about that. Initially, it started out small with unionizers convincing one company town at a time to revolt against their working conditions. But the first really big demonstration would come in 1928. It was then in the town of Ciénaga, Colombia, that a whole lot of workers decided to complain at once. When you look at what the workers of this strike were protesting, it would be comedic had it not happened to actual people. Like among their list of demands was a 6-day work week as opposed to a 7-day work week, improvement of hospital services, weekly wages, and abolition of office stores, meaning they're paid with real money instead of vouchers. The strike began on November the 12th, and it seems that rather than hearing the workers out, United Fruit Company decided to get Dad involved. Communism was not as scary to the United States as it would become post-World War II, but it was still in the minds of the American government. So United Fruit Company framed this entire operation to be a sort of communist revolution, and the United States was threatening to get involved. This caused the Colombian army to jump into action, and they immediately sent about 700 troops into the town. On December 6th of 1928, there was about 1,500 protesters camped out within the town. At one point, General Vargas gives the order to fire. It is not known exactly how many people died in the ensuing massacre.
Probably a lot.
Estimates are anywhere from 47 people to 2,000. General Vargas would later say he did this to ensure the safety of Colombia as he feared an American invasion. While 47 bodies are confirmed, the reason the number may be as high as 1,000 is because of the message sent from the U.S. Embassy. From this message, we know not only that the United States knew about this, but that it was considered a great success. This event is remembered to this day as the Banana Massacre. And believe it or not, it is not the only massacre we're going to get to in this story. Well, 6 years later, the United Fruit Company gets another massive strike, and this time it's too many people to, just shoot all of them. The 1934 demonstration managed to amass over 100,000 workers across different company towns and different vocations. And most of what they were protesting for was the same thing at the Banana Massacre. They were protesting for safer working conditions, a new minimum wage. United Fruit Company tries to do the same thing they did at the Banana Massacre. They say that it is a communist takeover. They begin deporting a lot of people, but in a few weeks they give up. This 1934 protest is forever known as the Great Banana Strike. The protest began on August the 9th and ended on August the 28th, with United Fruit Company saying they would agree to the demands. However,
dude, it's all banana shit too. Like, this
United
is
Fruit Company
insane.
simply doesn't do that. Despite saying they'd agreed to the demands, and the government even enacting some new laws around workers' rights, United Fruit Company just doesn't do anything. And when another strike begins to start up, this time they've identified all of the strike leaders, and they are all either imprisoned or disappear. And by this time in the 1930s, the United Fruit Company owns 3.5 million acres of land in Central America. And in places like Guatemala, they're the majority landowner. In Guatemala specifically, they own about 20% of all the land, meaning you can just look at a picture of Guatemala and point at it, and there is a 1 in 5 chance that you're pointing at United Fruit Company land. So for several years, this just continued. The United Fruit Company had the market cornered, and anytime the workers had something to say about it, the resistance quickly fizzled out. Every now and then, a country would try to enact new labor laws and either just fine United Fruit Company, or United Fruit Company would counter them with being targeted. Like, for example, when a law would come that would apply to companies with over 500 workers, they would argue that they're the only people in the area with over 500 workers, so it's targeted harassment. It was in 1944 that the Chiquita brand would come to exist, the Chiquita name applying specifically to their bananas. The mascot for this Chiquita banana being a banana woman with a bowl of fruit on her head, as well as a catchy jingle that played in my head every time I read about a new massacre. The next big event in this entire story would happen in 1952, and the set piece for one of the wildest things United Fruit Company would ever do.
Carapace requires emergency exchange all Corvette for something.
In the previous couple years, a lot of worker strikes had started at United Fruit Company properties in Guatemala. The things they were striking for are once again absurd and also sad, like $1.50 wage per day, or allowance for funerals when workers die in accidents,
Damn,
compensation for families when workers die in accidents. Like that, what an insane place to be in, where you're begging not to not die at work, just to not also go broke when you die at work. Well, it was around this time that Guatemala just got democracy, and one of the first presidents they elect is Jacobo Arbenz, the founder of the Guatemalan Party of Labor. Now, Arbenz has a lot of dangerous things like ideas. And among these dangerous ideas, one of them is that workers shouldn't die at work. A lot of the things Arbenz tried to institute was reasonable working conditions, reasonable work hours, and of course one of his biggest targets was the United Fruit Company. At the time Arbenz became president, the United Fruit Company was making twice as much revenue as the country of Guatemala. And even more infuriating,
that is
when looking at the totality of the land the United Fruit Company owned in Guatemala, they were using about 15% of it. And if you'll remember, United Fruit Company owned more land in Guatemala than anyone else. Again, about 20% of the country, and they were only using 15% of that 20%. At the same time, Guatemala was going through a housing crisis. Cities were being overcrowded, so Arbenz makes a decision. He, being the government, forcibly buys 200,000 acres of the land owned by United Fruit Company, buying it from the United Fruit Company at about $3 an acre, and immediately begins using that land for those that are landless. So the United Fruit Company looks at this. This is really the first time they've been told no by a government establishment. Sure, people in a country had protested against them before, but you can just shoot those. Entire governments are a bit more complicated.
It's hard to shoot a government.
So what does the United Fruit Company do except go get dad again? Remember how back during the 20s they were able to convince the United States to threaten a takeover at just the mere mention of the word communism? Well, now it's the 1950s and everyone is terrified of communism. And the leader of a country that an American company is operating in has now seized their land and distributed it to the people. Sam O'Nella also made a video about this, well, banana republics in general, so I'll let you hear his version of how the conversation probably went.
Oh, Eisenhower. Yo, what's up? This Jacobo guy, he's making us pay minimum wages. Well, that doesn't sound very good for business. That's not all, though. He's also taking our unused land and giving it back to the people. Does that sound familiar? Oh dear, you don't think. By the way it's looking, Dwight, I'd say he's a dirty, oh god, collectivizing. No. Commie. Yeah, go get him, Dwight.
President Truman in 1952 signed off on something called Operation PB Fortune. This was a CIA operation to topple the Guatemalan government. It began at the end of Truman's presidency, and Eisenhower was the one who oversaw most of the operations around it. The way this coup went down is the CIA found a man named Carlos Castillo Armas, a former Guatemalan who was in exile after trying to take over the government. Armas was sympathetic to the United States, and that was good enough for the CIA. So they began to train him and his men and supply him with money and weapons to overthrow the Guatemalan government.
What it is.
So even though United States soldiers were never on the ground, we provided the training and weapons to the soldiers who were on the ground. Among these weapons was planes and bombs.
Oh, I wonder what that sounds like in current day.
For the bombing of Guatemala City as a part of the 1952 coup. One of the people in Guatemala at the time was a 25-year-old kid named Che Guevara. So I wonder how this event went on to shape his opinion of the United States. The United States also conducted a very large propaganda campaign.
It's a really good epic rap battle with him.
Where they would play radio broadcast or have flyers and their normal rigmarole to convince the local people that this is actually good for them. So much so that when Armas's forces got to the capital, a lot of the soldiers for the Guatemalan military simply surrendered. With that, Arbenz stepped down and Armas, 10 days later, became the dictator of Guatemala. One of the first things Armas did was execute everyone. Armas knew that he had a lot of political enemies in the country, people who couldn't be swayed by the psychological operations of the United States. He began to round up those that opposed him, and in the first few months of his dictatorship, executed about 3,000 to 5,000 people. About 1,000 of those executed were people who spoke out or protested against the United Fruit Company. A few years later, in 1957, a revolutionary would run up to Armas as he was walking with his wife, shooting him twice and killing him before the gunman turned the gun on himself. This vacuum of power would lead to Guatemalan conflict for decades to come, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people, all because the United Fruit Company didn't want to help their workers out. And again, by United Fruit Company, in reality, it's a lot of companies that were all agreeable to this at the time. It just makes me feel better to imagine there's only one monster out there. In 1999, Bill Clinton apologized to the country of Guatemala for the United States' role in this coup.
Sorry.
Right in the nick of time. And in 2011,
sorry about the whole coup thing 40 years ago.
To the Arbenz family for the desecration and smearing they had of Arbenz while he was in office. Because, you know, as a part of the psychological operations,
doing
they
that shit
needed
to
the guy
Palestine
they wanted out
too
of power to
in
look
40
bad.
years.
So the CIA ran all kinds of smear campaigns against him. I should also clarify, if Bill Clinton apologizing to the country doesn't do it enough, none of this is conspiratorial. These are all declassified documents now. You can just read about how we overthrew a government because they didn't want workers to once again die in our fruit company. I should also mention that during this time, the owners or the chief board members or executives or whatever,
the United States is
United
super
Fruit Company,
fucked
kept
up with
changing
all
in
of
and out.
this.
And in
It is
1970, the
wild.
majority of shares of the company were acquired by a man named Eli Black. Eli Black became the CEO of United Fruit Company and decided to merge it with his company, American Seal Cap. These two companies came together to make United Brands Company. However, Eli Black immediately ran into a problem. So it seemed that Black's plan was to use the money and revenue that United Fruit Company had on hand to help his company, American Seal Cap, and continue their, business into the future. However, when he got a hold of United Fruit Company, there wasn't as much money as he thought there'd be. And you may hear that and be confused. I've spent this entire video talking about how United Fruit Company owned everything. They had every market in Central and South America cornered. How could they be out of money? Well, quite poetically, the reason they were out of money is because of themselves. So, as I mentioned way earlier in the video, come 1800s,
they're like
everyone in
dollar
America
dropped to
loves bananas. They
nothing,
can't
I'm
get
pretty
enough.
sure.
Well,
if I
something
remember
that
right.
anyone who knows anything about bananas could tell you is there isn't just one kind of banana. Bananas come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors, and that is something that the American consumer doesn't like. 99% of you
Only yellow.
word banana think of the regular shaped banana that is the regular color yellow. Well, as it turns out, that's just one kind of banana. As a matter of fact, it's the kind that was mass produced by United Fruit Company. And United Fruit Company did everything in their power to make sure every banana they put out was the exact same. That way they could fit perfectly into the shipping boxes they needed to be fitted into, and then fit perfectly into the image the American consumer had in mind. Well, what anyone who knows anything about biology, and I'm sure hundreds of people were screaming at the executives of United Fruit Company at this time, what any one of them could tell you is that genetic diversity is a good thing. See, when we talk about it as a product and something to be shipped,
he's gonna talk about the dude that was like,
really
"Oh yeah, God made
about
bananas
the
to fit in humans'
the
hands or
biological
whatever."
well-being of this plant. But a plant, just like anything, can grow, it can die, and in this case, it can get sick. In the 1950s, something called Panama disease began to hit several of the banana plantations across Central and South America. Now, normally, if a plant gets sick, it's okay, because even if the disease has found a way to attack that one plant, the plant next to it is genetically diverse enough that it's not a one-for-one transfer.
Nope.
But when you're the United Fruit Company and you've spent the past 60 years making sure every single one of your bananas is the exact same, well, then it is a one-to-one transfer. It's a one-to-one.
It's not good.
How many bananas would there be? It's like, got to be in the trillions. It's a 1-to-1 trillion transfer. This hurt the banana market.
Do you think there are a trillion bananas? I don't know.
So United Fruit
That's a
Company
lot.
and, again, other banana salesmen.
That's a lot of bananas.
That's a funny word, I don't know. Other banana companies had spent a lot of energy into marketing the idea of the normal yellow banana into the public consciousness. They would pay cereal companies like Kellogg's to show pictures of bananas cut up in cereal. Or they would pay movies or TV shows or whatever to subliminally insert the idea of bananas being a part of a balanced breakfast. It's funny because this is now the second video about corporations and the government subtly filling your mind with food you're supposed to eat. And it's also the second video about a bunch of corporate leaders who don't
Bananas are also the
plants
most
work,
radioactive
failing to grow said plants
plant
in
as well.
the South or Central Americas.
Naturally
well, now
occurring.
all of that subliminal messaging is undone because now the bananas are going to be different.
I learned that
After
in
several
nuclear.
years, the banana producers begin to mass produce a new kind of banana, and while that's the banana we come to know and love today, and it seems to fit in, a lot of the damage had been done. It took a lot of money and resources to get a new production scale for a new kind of banana running, and in the meantime, they were now running so many other branches of the world economy that it was hemorrhaging them money. And now back to our story, this is the position Eli Black found himself in 1970. It seems after several years, Eli Black was not able to consolidate the loss of money with, getting more money. And on February the 3rd of 1975, he would throw himself from his 44th floor office building. It was also found shortly after his death that he had sent a bribe of $1.25 million to the president of Honduras with the promise of another $1.25 million if the president would effectively give them a tax break. Now, is it because Eli Black knew he'd be found out for this, or because of dire financial straits that he jumped? We don't know, but either way, finances are what caused the issue. Eventually, Carl Linder Jr., one of the richest billionaires or whatever in the world, would acquire the company. Since United Fruit Company was associated with all the company towns and massacres back in South and Central America, and since United Brands was associated with the thing that just happened with Eli Black, Linder decides to rename the company to the product it is most famous for, the Chiquita banana. So in 1990, the company is renamed to Chiquita Brands International. So now if you're hearing all of that and you're thinking, oh, okay, so, the company had a sordid history and now we're in the modern age and they've calmed down, right?
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Well, it's around this time in
Nope.
1990 that they're now Chiquita Brands International, that something known as the Banana Wars begin. Effectively, Chiquita had a competitor named Fifes, who was doing better and Chiquita didn't like that. So rather than, doing better at their own business, Chiquita just decided to play dirty. They would periodically have Fife's bananas seized for inspection, and then when, oh look, the bananas have gone rotten after setting in a waiting place for a week, who knew? They would just throw them out. Again, Chiquita has their hands in so much of the infrastructure, they can have stuff checked out or seized at a moment's notice. Fife estimated that damages done during these banana wars resulted in as much as $10 million.
It's so weird to fucking think about, it's bananas.
Filed a lawsuit against Chiquita,
ridiculous.
saying that Chiquita had put out a false arrest warrant for him, and that if the manager was arrested, he would be kidnapped and murdered. Which, you know what? I believe him. I don't need to see any of the evidence or his reasoning for this. You think Chiquita's going to kill you because you're doing better than them at money? Probably. I feel weird making this video over a banana company. Not because of the CIA stuff, not talking about government stuff. A banana company. That's what has me worried. You want to know the wildest thing about it? Craziest part about me making a video about a banana company? I'm allergic to bananas. I have a mild banana allergy. I can eat some things with banana in it, but if I eat a banana directly, it makes like my lips swell up and like my mouth burns. I don't like it. So I could hypothetically die by banana. And that, I mean, that doesn't relate to anything, but I'm sure you all will find something funny to say about that. But yeah, like this guy thinking that Chiquita is going to kill him. I mean, yeah, dude, me too. They're going to make me eat a banana or something. I don't know. What's really funny is in 2014, there was a proposed merger between Chiquita and Fifes that ended up falling through. But it reminds me of back at the beginning of this story when the Tropical Trading Company and the Boston Fruit Company like hated each other a lot. So they hated each other so much.
That's like a saguaro cactus. What are you talking about?
That's what this reminds me of. That they threatened to kill Fife's manager, and then they thought about becoming one thing. Or sorry, I should clarify, they didn't threaten to kill him. He claims that they were going to, allegedly in Minecraft, whatever. I should also mention
in
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
In 1987,
we watched that video last night about where that
woman
came
with
from.
A fruit basket on her head just became a normal woman with a fruit basket on her head. It doesn't really relate to the conspiracy or story or anything. I just really didn't like that banana lady. So this is better. Now, a lot of Chiquita history's past was kind of outside of the public mind until 1998. It was then that Michael Gallagher for the Cincinnati Enquirer published an article called Chiquita Secrets Revealed. This alleged that Chiquita was responsible for everything from drug trafficking to weapon trafficking to coups, as mentioned earlier, as well as several political assassinations. However, the article would become discredited when it was found out that Gallagher had broken into Chiquita's answering machine in order to get a lot of his information. He was accused of taking a lot of things out of context and, being unprofessional as a journalist, and Chiquita ended up suing the Cincinnati Enquirer and winning about $10 million.
Jesus.
Because of this, the Enquirer printed a retraction, and a lot of the details of that article are now considered like uncouth, because he was exposed for stealing the information. But a lot of people look at the information they presented and say, in spite of how he went about getting it, it's still true, which possibly, maybe, who knows, allegedly, whatever. The story in itself made a lot of people dig, and old information like what I've talked about up until this point in the video started to get passed around. The CIA protecting bananas through revolutions and whatnot. Now, after all of that backstory's out of the way, we can talk about the death squads. Yeah, the article that I saw that inspired this entire rabbit hole of discovery. I am now going to talk about the thing that article was about. Now, Colombia is a country with a very complicated political past. A lot of revolutions and assassinations and whatnot that are too much to get into this late into the video. All you need to know for now is that there are a lot of both left and right-wing organizations in the country that hate each other a lot. Yes. A lot of stories of one party gaining power and massacring everyone on the other side, and then that side gaining power 20 years later and massacring everyone on the other side, and that just goes back and forward. Well, in spite of Colombia having this turbulent environment, there's a lot of companies that want to do business there. And while several companies can be found guilty of the thing I'm about to talk about, again, Chiquita is the one that was found guilty in court. It was found that in the late 90s and early 2000s, Chiquita was paying a group known as the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia. What are the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia? Well, they're a group founded by Carlos Castaño Gil. And yes, he's one of the characters in the TV show Narcos. When Carlos was a young boy, he watched his father
did not watch but one or two episodes of that, but I hear it's amazing. Narcos.
So as mentioned
That's
earlier,
where
he became one of the right-wing militants to
Pedro Pascal kind of like popped off, right? I'm pretty sure.
People like Pablo Escobar to maintain physical power through violence within Colombia. This mostly materialized in brutally killing anyone who opposed his regime. Or really, since the self-defense force was a gun for hire, anyone who opposed the regime he was working for at that moment. Sometimes this would be a stereotypical security service, and other times it was executing people who opposed whatever you were doing. So if he was hired by a local business or cartel, that meant executing people who did things like unionize or not like the cartel. Despite
You
being
do
sort of
not
gun
fuck
for
with the
hire, United
cartel.
Self-Defense Force was explicitly
I've seen
right-wing
cartel videos,
because,
and that
as
shit
mentioned,
is
not
some of the
only did
most
they work
fucked
for a lot
shit
of companies
ever.
to dispel things like trade unions, Carlos explicitly said that they would just kill anyone who was a unionist. The United Self-Defense Force was responsible for a little thing called the Pan Massacre. And what is that, you may ask? Well, I don't know. Let's check out the wiki. Right here we have a summary. It says, on July the 15th of 1997, the paramilitaries, which is, the United Self-Defense Force, arrived at Pan, where they used chainsaws and machetes to murder, behead, dismember, and disembowel civilians.
Yeah.
Because the bodies were thrown into a river, it is unknown exactly how many people died, but the United States Department of State stated in 2003 that at least 30 civilians were killed. So, anyway, this is the company Chiquita was hiring. As a matter of fact, it was found out that they had paid the United Self-Defense Force $1.7 million over the course of 10 years. The Colombian government had a securities company called Convivir, which was basically a way for companies to hire protection or security for their employees within the country. It was through this company that Chiquita paid out the money to the United Self-Defense Force. Chiquita's reason for this was that they were just hiring the company for the protection of their workers.
We didn't
in Colombia,
know.
and that they had no knowledge of the more illicit doings of the company outside of their security contracting. However, we know for a fact this is not true because in 2001, the United Self-Defense Force was labeled as a terrorist organization by the United States, and internal memos at Chiquita say that the company was explicitly told to stop paying them. It was after this issuing of them as a terrorist organization that about half of the money was sent out. Immediately, Chiquita was found of wrongdoing by the United States Justice Department and ordered to pay out $25 million. Colombia's Attorney General said that this was not enough, obviously, and furthermore accused Chiquita of using their ships to smuggle thousands of AK-47s and millions of rounds of ammunition. Which, at this point, absolutely.
Yeah.
Allegedly, that hasn't been proven.
It'd be weird if they didn't.
Anything, but hypothetically, could totally see it. As part of Chiquita's defense, they also hired two other left-wing extreme militant groups to guard other pieces of their employees, which doesn't excuse anything that's happened so far, but also that just means that you play the field. You don't care where the money goes as long as you get what you want out of it. Likely just shopping for the cheapest option. A note that was found written by one of the executives at Chiquita described this as, quote, the cost of doing business in Colombia. For several years, the family members of those killed by the terrorist organization sought damages from Chiquita because, they probably wouldn't have been able to cause the damage they did had it not been for Chiquita's money. In 2014, a lawsuit of some 4,000 family members was thrown out as it was seen they didn't have jurisdiction over a United States-based company. I should also mention in 2014, Chiquita was lobbying against the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act because they knew that it 100% included them. In 2016, a judge named Kenneth Mara of Southern Florida decided
shit is
to
still
give
going on though. It's wild.
Under his ruling, it was right for family members to sue for damages, at least within the United States. And in 2018, Chiquita and the family members came to an agreement. Also in 2018, the country of Colombia filed charges on 13 executives at Chiquita that they said were responsible for, the whole paying off terrorists thing. Nothing yet has come of this, and I really doubt anything will. The United States doesn't love sending American citizens to other countries to be tried by their legal system. And so far, all that's come out of this is like 8 people at Chiquita got fired, and other than that, and whatever the private agreement was with the family members in the suit, we don't know what happened, again, up until a month ago. That's because last month, in June of 2024, a federal jury under the same judge, Kenneth Mara, found Chiquita to be guilty in the wrongful death of 8 people killed by the Colombian terrorist organization. Now, of course, the actual effects of this organization were far, far more, but that's at least 8 that can be directly pinned as partially caused by Chiquita. Chiquita was ordered to pay out $38.3 million to the families affected. Of course, a very small touch for the lives that they lost and the years they spent in courts trying to make something of it. But hopefully, it sets a sort of precedence. Maybe then other things the company's done can be tried. Maybe other victims can come forward and get a piece of what they deserve out of it. Maybe even other companies that did similar things can be brought into the light. It certainly sets a precedence for crimes of 2nd or 3rd degree that, you know, Chiquita just paid off this group. They didn't commit the crime, but here, seeing that they were held accountable for it, maybe that's good news for whatever comes in the future. I certainly hope so, at least. The story, at whatever way you look at it, is tragic, that this much success can be made off of this much blood. It's wild to think at the same time Bill Clinton was apologizing to the country of Guatemala for what the CIA did back in the 1950s. At the same time, that same company was hiring death squads within Colombia in order to protect their business. The same story told over and over again. So hopefully, I like to think at least, as we say sorry this time, we're not making another mistake once again.
Oh, we absolutely
even though
are.
we probably are,
and
then some other YouTuber or whatever the equivalent of YouTube is in 40 years, we're going to talk about the stupid thing that's happening right now that's going to make me upset. But whatever, I've done my part. That's his problem. At the end of the day, I'm just a stupid YouTuber, and I think that this stuff is interesting, if not depressing, to learn about. And if I had to know about all of this, then you do too. And if nothing else, you can at least point to the banana brand at a grocery store and have an absolutely horrible story to traumatize your family. And you're welcome for that. And
I do that already.
Thank you for watching.
But that was really good. I didn't know about the newer stuff. I knew all the stuff from the 20s and everything like that. All the way up until... I want to say I knew about the Clinton stuff, about him apologizing while they're still doing weird shit behind his back while he's getting his dick sucked. But I may have not known. No, I must have known that because it sounded really familiar. Or maybe I'm thinking of the Contra Iran 80s stuff. I don't know. Anyway, it's very interesting. Let's see. QuakeCon still going on. QuakeCon is like 20 minutes away from where I live. I've been several times. It's pretty fun. It's when I had friends and a life and things. This is pretty neat. Channel 5. The all-time best theme park. We created the best theme park of all time. 1 year and 100+ people to build. That's coming 8/17 at 2. Oh, that's in like a week. I'll still tag it. I'll tag it. Bloodborne. I did want to watch this top 30 on stage freakouts by musicians. I think that might be interesting. I like Watch Mojo's newer, longer form content. I enjoy long form content much more than like a 10-minute video. I'd rather watch like a 2-hour video. So we may check that out. There's a Tour of Italy hack. Wait, where is this? Should we play the Tour of Italy Super Metroid hack? Let me check it out. I haven't heard of that one. What the fuck? Why did that open in another... Oh, that's like really, really new. It's like a month old. It's even newer than Metroid 11, dude. June 30th. The game was produced with the help of an Italian cultural consultant. You have been warned. The game is also designed to accommodate and entertain players of all skill levels. A revision with some of the finishing touches, such as custom soundtrack and redone intro images and more lore, should be released in the near future. However, as is, the hack is a complete experience from start to finish. I kind of feel like obligated to play it, right? A tour of Italy. Like, what the fuck? Probably my favorite Super Metroid hack right now. Looks very cool, fun design, clever new items that are actually utilized well. For a spoof hack and contest hack, Tour of Italy has a lot to offer. It's distinct with its own themes within the confines of Space Station Factory vibe. The gelato vibe is strong, and I wanted to save it constantly to make sure I don't lose progress. The difficulty is vanilla, borderlining on beginner. There's a lot of opportunities to sequence break through gate glitches and hell runs, but none are required. The story is funny and engaging, atmospheric, without straight out telling you what it is. The ASM edits are well implemented and can be abused fully. Once this gets polished up and becomes a full hack, I'll be thrilled to play this again. The credits were a real treat and got a legitimate belly laugh out of me. I mean, I think we have to play it. Surely, right? Where is that? My ROM documents, god damn it! Tour of Italy. Super Metroid, right?
I was a runaway and you were a queen. Our tongues tied in the mezzanine.
Like super shade dipped out.
No strings on you, no strings on me. I was a cannonball.
That's fine. All right. Is it good?
Crashed into your blue dream. We were free. Time takes no prisoners. You'll see.
There it is. I really want to play through these Ultima games, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone would. Well, nobody watches my shit anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But it's gonna be like really archaic. I would actually like to get a notebook because, like, from what I hear, you have to like take notes and shit. And I think that might be fun, like a really, really old school blast from the past kind of thing. Usually the I think it's this one. Okay. Wait, did it not? Oh, I see. Cut it. Okay. Yeah, let's give this a play. Let me save this and exit out of it. We'll come back to this. I want to check out the Super Metroid thing though. I have got to get a new controller. This one has done me very well, though. It has put in the work for sure. Okay. Turn that off. And we will get this going. Oh, wait. The fuck? There it is. So we have custom music and everything, right? So I'll bring that up. Or did they say they're going to put in custom music later on whenever they're polishing all this stuff? Let me change my... It's pretty funny. Let me change my titles. This is gonna be stupid. It's gonna be the dumbest shit ever. And I'm totally ready for it. Turn the game volume down a little bit. Okay. So this was a ROM hacking contest. I literally just found out about this about 2 minutes ago. So it's brand new to everybody, you, me, except for the Metroid community. They seem to know about it. Shooting, jumping, dashing, item select, cancel. Actually, no. I like select being there. The Galactic Federation held me in contempt after the destruction of SR-388 and biological space labs. They accused me of illegal mundicide and destruction of GF property for putting an end to their conspiracy. What the fuck is mundicide? Is that like a real thing? Mundicide. Oh shit, destruction of a planet. That makes sense. Because like Mundi is planet, right? Or Mundus, Mundi. Mundi is like plural. Mundus. Gotcha. I've never actually heard that term before, but it's a fucking great term. Okay. Where have I heard that Mundi before? Fortunately, someone listened. GF High Admiral Anthony Higgs had helped me in a similar conspiracy sometime earlier, and with his influence, we struck a plea bargain. By admitting fault to a minor instance of drunk driving, my sentence was reduced to 2 weeks of community service. Come on. Come on. You can come up here now. Come on. Come on. You gotta be good, though. The Italian Space Agency had a factory go dark about 2 days prior, and the agency demanded that I specifically must respond to it alone. With no other option, I was forced to accept. Samus got hit with a drunk driving... a drunk driving charge instead of a mundicide? Okay. All right, we got a fusion suit here. We can morph into the ball already. We got some missiles. Cool. Okay, we have to help the Italian Space Agency figure out what the hell is going on. This is very important. Davey 504 better be in here. Be angry if he's not. Nope. Can't go there. Nope. Oh, we have a jump. Ball jump. Spring ball. Okay. I have never played this before. That's just natural Metroid instincts kicking in. Okay, we clearly can't go there. Come on. God damn it, controller! Why won't it... There it is. Okay, well, that was pointless. Alright, we're good. What the fuck? Is that like broken glass is hurting me? Yeah. Okay. So do not stand on broken glass. They said this was like a beginner-friendly mod, nearly. Space station access granted. Cool. I should look into seeing like how hard it actually is to do a Metroid ROM hack, a Super Metroid ROM hack. I would absolutely love to do one. There it is. There's Italy. I got the gates to lift. I already forgot about it. I did it like 10 seconds ago. Okay. Oh, and we're already starting off at 200 energy. Cool. Wait, what did that say? Did that say what I think it said? Would you like it to save? I'm sorry. What is this? Okay, we have a P, C, and V. You know, Italian is one of the languages I've never studied. I mean, I've studied a bunch, but I couldn't tell you anything about any of them, so... Did 2 years of German. And like a year of French in high school. German I did in college. What is happening here? You can't go down, okay. Plasma beam. Okay. Is this the gelato? I really hope it is. There's some milky white drippy substance, so I'm going to assume it's gelato. No. I know I shouldn't be doing this, probably already sequence breaking, but oh my god. No, I want to get up there now. The fuck? Ooh, I don't know if I can do that. The physics change like incredibly quickly whenever you get out of the water. You probably can, but I'm not gonna fuck around with it right this second. Okay. Can you like damage boost and get height? No. Okay. I'm not very good at damage boosting anyway, so maybe you can. And we don't have bombs yet, so. Okay. Not a fan of the underwater areas, but it's not like the worst thing ever. Oh no. Okay, you can't, you can't respin. It's like my #1 complaint with Super Metroid. Most hacks fix that, but not this one. God damn it. That's where you would want to respin. Am I just, like, missing something here? One would think you would get the ice beam or something. This is San Girano 11? Gennaro? Probably butchering that. No. Can... Okay. If this is what you have to do, this is like 100% not a beginner's hack. Let's see, maybe there's something over here. Hey, there it is. Oh yeah, and you can ball jump too. I forgot all about that. Interesting. Mm-hmm. We don't have bombs either right now. Shit. I don't know how to get that. Unless I need bombs. Like, is it a requirement? Oh no! Wait, can I jump up there? Come on. Will the escape from Alcatraz thing work? I don't think it will. Oh shit, it did! Never mind. Cool. This was where the, yeah, okay. Damn, those hitboxes are wild. They are like very large. Space jump, huh? Okay, good to know. Maybe I didn't do the other, like, elevators right? Like, did I really fuck up and miss pressing down on those elevators? Doesn't seem likely, but maybe I did. Shit. I am not a fan of this. Oh my god, the fucking hitboxes are insane. Like, you feel like you're clearing it completely, but... Let's see. Did I not even, like, try up here? Wow, okay. That's dumb of me. Shit. No! Sneaky. That was sneaky. It's over here. Would you like it to save? Okay. Try it again. Okay, it auto bounces. This is kind of... Oh. Alright. Fair enough. What? I am not the biggest of this, like, water mechanic shit immediately right out the gate. Not a big fan of that. Shit, you can kill this? Ugh. Excuse me. Okay. Ooh. Vanilla bean. God damn it. Son of a bitch. You got me. You got me on that one. Now I can go and freeze those, like, flying guys. Yeah. I bet you could definitely do it without the vanilla bean. Some fucking dad joke level shit right there. Okay. Oh no. No! Oh my god, these fucking water physics. There's, like, definitely something up there, but I'm not gonna go for it right this second. It's not that difficult. Alright, we got space jump now. Can we swirl clamber, cling to walls, and climb? The fuck? Oh, that's fucking weird. Okay, and you cannot infinitely jump with that. Okay. It's like only on the walls. That is a very, very interesting use of that. I've never seen that before. That's kind of neat. Okay, that's where I would have, no, wait, no, never mind. Marinara tank? I mean, yeah, absolutely. Why not? The marinara tank. Would you like it to save? Am I being racist when I say that? I don't know. Okay, well, can't do that. Shit. Am I gonna even be able to do that? Okay, that's fine. Other marinara tank. Fuck, now I want a pizza. I'm curious, like, can you... I wonder if you could hold your momentum and stay and, like, jump. Well, there you go. You, can do that. Oh. We're going to the green side. Is V like Verde? Or not? Maybe not, never mind. I don't know why it has the V, the C, and there's another one. Okay. Yeah, so all of this stuff is like vanilla, like the music and everything. So I guess that's what they were talking about whenever they said that they were going to polish it up. There's an item somewhere in there. There it is. Can't go in there. Alright. God don't know. I could go down. I could go up. Oh no. Uh-oh. Shit. Okay. God damn it. I want in there. I know you can do that. I haven't done it in forever. I'm gonna waste all my shit. I know you can do that though. Huh. Oh shit, that's not good. Fuck. This is very, very not good. Okay. That's such a weird mechanic, and I love it. God damn it. You know, unless they're gonna add it later, there's a really big missed opportunity of naming the ball a meatball. Like the ball form. Nope. Assuming I'm gonna get the various suit in here at some point relatively soon-ish. Okay. Where is the save point? I think you might be only able to do that with super missiles, maybe. Thinking back on it, I don't know if I've ever done it with a regular missile. Maybe you can. Why could I not go up there? Like way up there? Oh, this is cherry. Cherry, vanilla, and pistachio. Okay, that's what the lettering is. Okay. I get it. Why the fuck couldn't I go up? Was it spikes, maybe? Probably was it. Yeah. Well, no. Oh wait, yeah. I'm gonna fucking kill myself before I do that. Wait, where the hell was the save point? Down there. Ugh. Okay, I never went over here. Okay. Weird place to put that, but sure. Alright, this is like completely uncharted territory. Now I remember why I fucking don't use this controller anymore. The Y button is like sticky. Maybe I should open it up and clean the like membrane rubber. Maybe. Okay. So I didn't. Oh, alright. I'm a fucking moron. I was pressing down instead of up. I'll take it. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. God damn it. Shit, the jump button's doing it too. Okay. What is the P? The pistachio beam? I want it. Oh, you probably get it from down there, I would imagine. Okay. Huh. I don't really know what that'll allow me to do. Oh, okay. Okay, I mean, sure. I have a lot of life right now. Can't go over there. Oh well, I'm sure I'll get it in a minute. God damn it. Wall climb. No thank you. What? Do not want to let that thing touch me if I can help it. Really? Okay. God damn it. Stop. I want to try getting up there. Oh, I can't. It makes my hitbox too big. Good to know, I guess. I don't know. Why can I do that, but not... I'm gonna kill myself trying to figure that out. And we do not have power bombs. Great. I'm assuming I have to, like, beat all of them. Does that help me in any way? Okay, I have not been here. Oh shit, you know what? I need to take myself off on Twitch playing No Man's Sky. Okay. Now where are we going? Sticky button. Not doing it for me. Really? Missile tank? Whoa, whoa, what the fuck? I did not agree to that. What the fuck? Okay. Down and to the left or up to that other room? Guess I can try down first. No, I cannot. I have no idea where the fuck I'm going. Okay, I need to go back up that shortcut area. Alright. What do we do here? Can't break that, right? Shit. God damn it. No, I don't think you can do that. Just no way. Okay. I can't go down to the left. I don't know how to get that PB. I assume it's pistachio. God damn it! Just jump. I imagine they have like some kind